This is the video for fruit galettes. So, for this video you will need your puff pastry portioned out, you will need your creme patissier, you will need some egg wash and a small knife. The puff pastry will need to be rolled out to about 5mm thick and will need to be 11 centimetres by 11 centimetres square. Once you have done that, you will need to let it rest for half an hour. This is to prevent them misshaping in the oven. Once they have rested for half an hour, we can then start to prepare them for baking. All we need to do is to dock the bottoms, leaving approximately a finger width to the edge. So we need to do a nice square. And we'll need to do that to all of the puff pastry sections. Just ensuring we leave that gap to the edge. This will stop the pastry rising in the oven and allow us to have the base for our fruit. So once you have docked all of your pastry squares, you will need your pastry cream, which is in a piping bag. Just cut the end off, like so. You will not need a piping nozzle for this, just a small hole. And then we're going to pipe over the docked area. And we're just going to fill in that square with pastry cream. So just cover the docked area, still leaving that finger width around the outside. Try to be as consistent as possible with this to give us a good quality end product. So, once you have added all of the pastry cream, if you're using hard fruit, such as apples or pears, you can place those on top now. If you're going to use soft fruit, such as raspberries, blueberries, kiwis, strawberries, we will bake them first and then add those post-bake. So the next stage is to egg wash each galette just around the edges, like so. So just with a pastry brush, and some egg wash, just very carefully egg wash around the edges. Ensuring to get a consistent amount of egg wash, no gaps, to give us a consistent high quality finish. So, once they are ready, we can pop them into the oven for about 25 minutes at 200 to 220 degrees. And we're looking for them to be a lovely golden colour around the edge, as well as a nice baked colour underneath. This is the video for finishing fruit galettes. For this you will need the finished baked products, which have nice golden colour fruit on. We've left, if you're using soft fruit, we've left them empty so we can put the soft fruit on now once they've cooled down. If you're using hard fruit, they will have been baked in the oven. Okay? You will need a piping bag that you've made, a pastry brush, a pan with some apricot jam in, and a spoon, as well as water. These are for your glaze. So the first thing that we're going to do is just give the apricot jam a good stir. Just break it up. This is to help it when we add the water to produce the glaze. So make sure that it is nicely beaten and nice and smooth. Then we're going to add the water. And put it on the heat at about 1000. So what we need to do is make sure we've got the golden colour. You can see the egg wash there. Check underneath as well. You'll see a nice golden colour underneath. We will also need the pastry bag for the chocolate. So once your glaze is ready, you're looking for a glaze that is quite runny, so it coats all of the fruit. Make sure all the lumps have gone. And then very simply with a pastry brush, we're just going to brush it over the fruit so it coats all of it, as well as the pastry cream as well. This will add flavour and it will also seal the fruit to improve shelf life. Also gives it a nice shiny appearance, making the product more desirable. Obviously with the one tart that hasn't got anything on, you would place your fruit onto there, so maybe a line of strawberries, a line of kiwis and a line of raspberries, and then you would glaze it. We want to make sure that everything is covered, but we don't want the glaze to drip over the side of the pastry. Okay, so once that is all done, we are then going to decorate with some white chocolate. So in your bag that you've made, you'll need to have some white chocolate to produce a hole to produce lines roughly that thick, and then we're just going to flick over the top at an angle. So try to flick over an area slightly bigger than the tart itself, and get a much nicer finish to the final product. And our final product will look like that. And then they can be packed and sent down to the shop with an allergen sheet.